All right, folks, we are mounting our first TV on the wall. I got this mount at Best Buy, and there's reasons why I got it. One, it holds up to 150 pounds. Two, it fits 42 inches to 90 inches. And although the current TV is 77 inches, you know, sometimes people just say bigger is better. Now, it has some features. It's a model BLT3-Bravo 1, Bravo Lima Tango 3 Bravo-1. It's got Tilt 4D advanced technology, tilts in 4 directions, which is basically this way, and I think it's this way. I don't know. I don't think it works that way. So it can tilt. It can extend from the wall. That's important because when you're trying to work behind the TV and make connections, you don't want to have to dismount the TV each time. Now, what I've learned in hindsight, if I were to do this over again, this marks a stud, this marks a stud, and this marks a stud, basically 16 inches apart. And this plugs and everything is centered. What I would do is I would have put extra studs in the wall, or I would have put backing block. So that way, if you notice here, there's a big old screw there, and none here. So it sort of hangs free. You'd preferably like to have a screw there and a screw there. But after giving it some thought, I didn't have a choice. If I wanted this thing reasonably centered, I was going to have to forego putting it on this stud. But if I had thought in advance of doing this, I would have put a big mounting block in the back, which would have allowed me to place these screws at each side. But this is a very substantial bracket. There's a screw there, screw, and screw, along with the studs in the wall. Now, the goal is to get it relatively centered between here and here. And it is relatively centered. It's a little off to the right by a few inches. But the nice thing about these mounting brackets, which are currently on the TV, is they can allow you to slide sideways, which will help. What we'll do is we'll mount the TV up there and move it over 2 or 3 inches here so it's more centered in the wall. Now, is the centering critical? No, it isn't. Let's get a grip, but it's part of human nature. We like that. The other things I would have done is I would have probably dropped this down to probably in the low 40s. It's up in the 50 range, 55 range. That's too high from the floor because you want a TV mounted at eye level so that when you're seated on a couch, that's about 42 inches for a TV this size. So that's too high, but we're able to cover it up with the top of the TV so you don't see it. It wouldn't be a deal breaker if you could, but that's just the way it is. And these outlets here, I would have dropped all the way to the floor, assuming I didn't violate code, which may have been one of the reasons it's here, because code can be kind of weird where you have to have the outlets a certain distance above the floor. And that's probably why it happened that way. So it looks good. We're going to put a sound bar here, which will block the view of those outlets in the future. We're going to leave the IKEA cabinet here because it helps store really good stuff like DVDs, DVD player, which isn't set up yet, but it looks pretty good. So you can't do this by yourself. I'm telling you right now, you cannot mount one of these brackets by yourself unless you got 3 or 4 arms. Because I have help helping me mount this. And we did the trick that Mike, the installer, taught me. Is find the studs. You can use the stud finder, which I used. And then what Mike does is he takes a small nail, hits it to find out where the guts of the 2x4 are, or 2x6. So in this case, I hammered it in. You could tell when you hit wood. Then I came over 2 or 3 millimeters, so that when I put the big screw in, it's going into the meat of the stud. We were successful on all 4 accounts. We also have this great little template, which you use. Pretty good. We were off on 1 screw down here, but all we did was drill a new hole, got enough meat on it. So it's looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. Like I said, we've got the TV here with the brackets for the TV. One important thing, as I pointed out earlier, is you want it to be able to get some distance from the wall. Because as you're feeding cables up to here, you don't want it flush against the wall because that's just a pain in the butt. So this comes out, goes in, comes out. So you can get it as flush to the wall as you want. And I'm pretty happy. Now, the nice thing about this is you see the way it mounts. Like I said, it will fit on this edge here. And we'll be able to slide the TV left and right, we're hoping. And that way compensate for a little bit of it being off center. So all in all, pretty good. I'm satisfied. Hopefully I'll come back and we show you the rest of the product when it's done. All right, folks, I am standing in the kitchen. We're looking at the TV. I'm standing in the kitchen. One of the goals of this design, oh geez Louise, the screen goes blank right when I'm at my best. I'll have to get the screen back on. The point is that what you're seeing is one of the design elements. The idea was to, in fact, have the TV visible from the kitchen. Because who doesn't love having TV in the kitchen? I know I do. I suspect you do. So you notice this is an LED, OLED. Why was that not working? Well, that's life. And the nice thing about OLEDs is well, not one of the nice things. They like really dark rooms. So you remember the Calatrava design? Yeah, the Calatrava. This is the Calatrava, meaning that window opens opposite that window. And if you were standing here right here today, well, one, you'd be in Wisconsin, and two, you'd get to realize that the wind is coming from that direction. So it's being scooped in here, drawn here. This window basically is just an exhaust port. Now, if it had been designed like regular windows facing each other, you wouldn't have a breeze at all. It is remarkably comfortable in here. The breeze, the cool air, it's probably about 65 degrees, low humidity, it rocks. But let's get back to the TV mount. So what you're seeing is the TV mount. And obviously it can be pushed so it's closer to the wall. And I was wrong, it can be angled. You can see that. The angling is important because my favorite position in life is horizontal. So I like to be on the couch, laying down. That's my foot in the picture. And notice how I've tilted the screen a little bit towards me because you want 90 degrees in all planes, X, Y, and Z, whatever that is. And by having it 90 degrees, you get a much better picture. You don't get fade by fall off. Now this is an OLED, and one of the strengths of OLEDs is they don't have the problem of fading as you get off angle. But this is the best of the best of the best of the best. God, that almost sounds like Will Smith and, yeah, I'm getting lost. When he tried out for the movie with Tommy Lee Jones. So you're laying here, it looks good, it's the right height. If you're one of those people who actually likes to be upright like this, it's still about, the center of your eyes are about 42 inches, which is nice. It's nice to have 42 inches. And then if you're down over here, it's a nice angle. One thing you did not notice, but I will point out, is that when you're laying down, you can tilt the TV in this axis. So once again, you can maintain that 90-degree focal point, that viewpoint. And notice how it doesn't interfere with the bottom of the TV when you're laying down, so that way you can take that quick snooze that we all love to do. You know, we're in front of the TV, it's been a long day, we're tired. We suddenly take the snooze-a-rama, and then we wake up and we're surprised that we took a little nap. But we're ready to go. So here are the tools we did. Obviously not everybody has these impact wrenches, Milwaukee tools, tape for marking it. I think I explained that what you do is you take this nail and find the stud, driver, pencils, tape, level. And guess what? This thing leveled out perfectly. God, don't make a fool out of me. Is that good or not? With no adjustments at all, that TV is rockin' level. The other thing is we sized it so that the distance from this window to here is the same as the distance from this window to here. So it turned out really well. One area of weakness is I should have put the coax cable for the TV up on this mount there, but I didn't. That's life. The power supply I can run up to here, so that's out of the way. The only thing that's left is this coax cable, and I can fix that. I can make it either black, which would be kind of nice, or I can run a little tube for wiring control. So all in all, it looks pretty good. This is, of course, my IKEA cabinet, pointed out earlier. I love it. It's, you know, it's a typical black. It's the modern theme, contemporary, all that stuff. Floor works with it all, but I'm very happy with what's the result. It rocks. So when you spend 150 bucks for a mount for a TV, you get 150 bucks for the product. So all in all, very happy. Hope you enjoyed this. I will talk to you later. Bye.